This is an engineering, technology, and application science lesson for grade 2. Hi class! Can anyone tell me how many sides is on this piece of paper? Good! We have 2 sides on this piece of paper. Now, how many sides would I have if I decided to cut a strip on the paper? Okay, so now we have just this strip. Are there still 2 sides? Good, there are. Now, I'm going to glue this strip together to make a loop, like this. How many sides does this loop have? How do you know that this loop has 2 sides? Well, one way we can figure out is to use a marker. So, with our marker, I'm going to go straight down the middle until I reach the other line. Okay, so I met my line, but I still haven't put a line in the inner circle. So, what do I have to do to my marker in order to make a circle on the inner line? Yes, I need to pick up my marker and then place it down again so I can make my line. Okay, so now we know that this loop has 2 sides because I had to lift my marker. Okay, so now that we have figured out that the loop has 2 sides, now we're going to make a loop with our strip of paper that has a twist in it. So I want everyone to hold their strips in both their hands like this, and then we're going to take one hand and twist it, so that now what was on the top, now that side's on the bottom. Okay? And we are going to glue them together. On the ends. And now everyone should have a loop that has a twist in it. Okay. So whisper to yourself very quietly how many sides you think this loop has. Okay. How are we going to test this loop to see how many sides it actually has? Oh, that's right. I can use a marker. Okay, so I want everyone to draw a line down the middle of their bands. Okay. So, by not having to pick up my marker at all, I found out that this has only one side. Okay. So, the name of this loop that we created that has one side is called a Mobius band. And it was named after the person who invented it, who was August Mobius. So now we're going to take it a step further. Turn to a partner and discuss what you think will happen if I take scissors and cut along the line that I drew on my Mobius band. I heard some great discussion on what we think is going to happen when we cut the line on our Mobius bands. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and give it a pinch so I can cut right down the middle. Okay, and my cut meets, and now I have a double twist, and it's all connected. So, what can I do to figure out how many sides this loop has? Okay, I can use the marker test. So, let's go ahead and draw another line down the middle of this loop. Okay, so everyone should have only drawn their lines on one side of the loop. So we figured out that this loop in fact has two sides. So what are some of the possibilities of what you think will happen when we cut this line? So I heard some great possibilities of what we think is going to happen when we cut this new loop. So let's go ahead and give it a cut. I'm going to pinch first. Okay, and it meets. So now let's see what we have. It looks like we have two interlocking loops that are connected. So today we learned that Mobius bands have one side and that pieces of paper could be one-sided if they were looped and twisted. So, are any of these loops Mobius bands? I want you guys to go ahead and investigate this for yourself. Record it down on a piece of paper. If it is a Mobius band, tell me why you think it is one. And if it's not, then tell me why it's not.